our conclusion that all attacks on Ikenga have been politically motivated. We insist that the attacks are because of his revelation of the Omuma magic, and we insist that the governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, has questions to answer, criminal questions. Beyond the attacks on Ikenga's person, his supporters, allies, associates, and materials have also been targeted. They now move from house to house in the theater and other parts of Imo, harassing any person identified to be an Ikenga supporter and arresting some of them. They say whether the Inspector General of Police likes it or not, they will do what they want on election day. In fact, we have information and we firmly believe in that Governor Uzodinma has said that he will carry his chair on the 25th of February and sit in the theater to see how Ikenga will survive. That after all his own election is in November. The fact that governors have immunity does not guarantee them to be behaving with impunity. I think we have to make that very clear. It is on this note that we invite election observers, both domestic and foreign, to note in the federal constituency election as a flashpoint that must be covered, as there has been promise of bloodshed by the governor of Imo State on the people of that constituency. Particularly, we invite the European Union, United States Embassy, the British High Commission, Canadian Embassy, all other accredited observer groups to ensure that they deploy to Idiato and South Local, Idiato North and South Local government areas on the 25th of February 2023. We also invite the National Security Advisor, Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the State Security Services, and indeed all heads of security agencies and the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security to note Idiato as a flash point. Being proactive to provide adequate security in that federal constituency is better than any reactionary actions after the mayhem promised by Governor Uzodinma has been carried out. Now, let us bring to your notice certain particular incidents. On Saturday, the 11th of February 2023, 2 people were arrested conveying election materials. I repeat, election materials donated to Ikenga Igoshigiri campaign and the PDP in Imo State. The materials include posters and other education and sensitization materials. The materials were received at the Port Harcourt International Airport, were being conveyed to Imo State. These are educational materials. Everybody does this. This is not INM property. These are educational materials. These are election education materials. So this is not something that somebody should go and confiscate. So now they are claiming that Ikenga has custody in his custody INEC materials. How is this an INEC material? Because they are looking for every means to frame him up. So they've confiscated all those things. Now, the materials include posters, as I've shown you, and other good education and sensitization materials. The materials were received at the Port Harcourt International Airport and were being conveyed to the Imo State in an airport taxi, when one Miss Jennifer Williams, who was conveying it, and the airport taxi driver were arrested by security officials. Since the 11th February 2023 to date, both Jennifer Williams and the airport taxi driver are still in the custody of the Imo State Police Command, daily being tortured and compelled to implicate Ikenga for carrying election education materials. We have been informed that they have not yet been charged to court 6 days after because they have refused to implicate Ikenga. Since their arrest, they have been incommunicado without access to lawyer or family. Strangely, one barrister Maxwell Aleto, who went on that Saturday on behalf of the arrested persons, was also arrested, only thrown out on Tuesday 14th February 2023. We are already creating a basis for anarchy in this country when lawyers can no longer perform their constitutional assignment of going to take care of their client interests. We are creating unnecessary anarchy in this country, and it doesn't offer well for any state, any nation, or any society. He spent 3 days in illegal detention, a lawyer, for merely performing professional duty on behalf of his clients, We invite Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, both in Imo and Abuja headquarters to investigate this and take the necessary actions. Even lawyers are now victims. Lawyers must not and cannot be intimidated for performing their professional duties to their clients. As a matter of fact, to the country. Lawyers are fundamental parts of state building. Here are some of the samples of the documents. The arrested lady. We have shown you some. So I still have some here. So these are campaign materials. These are campaign materials. These are not INEC materials. These are educational materials for elections. Every candidate, every political party does this. So this one cannot be an incriminating evidence against Ikenga. So, but our courts are not stupid. If they say Ikenga has INEC materials at his disposal, let them take these ones to court and let's see how they will be disgraced. Dear Inspector General of Police, we remind you once again of your promise to the opposition to ensure level playing ground for everyone. But in Imo, the Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Ahmed Balde, can now be said to be heading the armed wing of the ruling party in the state. So once again, see the materials is seized and is labeled election rigging materials printed by Ikenga. This is how to vote Ikenga PDP material. Clearly having Ikenga's face on it. Also the inscription of how to vote for PDP. This material cannot look like INEC ballot papers. INEC cannot print ballot papers bearing only one candidate's face. How can the Commissioner of Police in Imo State be celebrating this issue as intercepting election rigging materials? Even a constable in Nigeria Police cannot do that. Has any person answered those who should have seen, including the Commissioner of Police, seen the ballot paper for the election for him now say that this is ballot paper printed for rigging election? Now, this is clearly the voter education material and not an election rigging material. Or what exactly is the Commissioner of Police looking for? Why the attempt to bring the police into the realm of politics in Imo State? And why should the police allow themselves to be brought into the realms of politics in Imo State or anywhere for that matter? Again, everybody in Nigeria knows that Ikenga is a human rights activist and fights for the protection of human rights. He has consistently advocated for the freedom of persons incarcerated. He campaigned for the release of Commodore Umar Mohammed, Dejade Yonju, Omoyele Sowore, Sunday Igboho, Sheikh El Zakzaki, and now in Abdikanu. This same message is being sponsored in national newspapers. The campaign to release all these people was sponsored in some newspaper by Ikenga to release these people from detention. Ikenga has made it very clear that he wants President Muhammadu Buhari as part of the process of peace building to release Nnamdi Kanu in line with the judgment of the Federal High Court here at the Court of Appeal Abuja in order to separate the criminals killing people in the southeast and the ones who have genuine agitations for nationhood. Ikenga does not like the fact that the insecurity in the southeast has led to the killing of several policemen and other security personnel. He wants a resolution to these issues and he is telling his constituents who are daily suffering the agony of this insecurity and the damaging effects of weakness at home to their businesses and lives that if elected, he will push even from the parliament for freedom for Nnamdi Kanu and for political solution to be adopted in the resolution of this insecurity that has ravaged the southeast. If you want to kill an Igbo man, just take away his business. So it's not what is happening in that place is not natural. It cannot be in the southeast that businesses will have to close down for 24 hours. It is not in their nature. It is not in their blood. He stands by his views. He has made it public. Is that view a crime that the Commissioner of Police does not understand, or is he being misguided by his political involvement? First, the Attorney General of Imo State had alleged and filed frivolous and vexatious charges that Ikenga was responsible for the burning of INEC offices in Imo State, then was the allegation of terrorism, then that he hacked into INEC server, laughable, and took materials with which he exposed open magic, then murder, then arson, then rape of a convicted guy in prison was released to allege Ikenga raped him. However, when will this joke stop? Is it not time to stop and take stock? Anybody who knows Ikenga knows that they do, man. The Commissioner of Police, Imo State, did not investigate the allegations of the move of magic after the revolution. Rather, to distract the people, he filed charges against innocent staff of the Independent National Electoral Commission. That matter has since been withdrawn because of lack of evidence and because they believe the matter has been overtaken by events. We invite the Police Inspector General and the Police Service Commission to save the institution of the police this embarrassment and call the Commissioner of Police to order. He was deployed to Imo State to protect lives and property and not to play politics or choose who should be alive or dead. The police are supposed to protect with integrity. It is time to stop the madness going on in Imo State. It is time to stop the Imo State from being the killing field which has been converted into by Governor Uzodinma and his cohorts. It is clear that the Commissioner of Police Imo State has other agenda in the state. It is manifest that he cannot guarantee free and fair election in Imo State in keeping with the pledge of the Inspector General of Police and the promise by President Muhammadu Buhari to have free, fair, peaceful and credible election. We are holding the president on that promise and we believe him. But some people want to truncate that. He now takes instruction from the Inspector General of Chinasa in Rwanda. That is very unfortunate. The IGP cannot be working hard in Abuja and the Commissioner of Police will be undoing it all in Imo State. It is on this basis and more that the opposition is calling on the Inspector General of Police to redeploy the Commissioner of Police Imo State and further investigate him on his culpability on some other incidents that have happened in Imo State. He is aware of the visit of the governor now 3 times to Ediato, raid officers stealing and destroying private property in the mass house. That is beyond the red line. The owners of those stolen items want them back. Mr. Commissioner, they want them back. We shall await the actions of the police hierarchy on these revelations and evidence. Let it be known that the Ikenga will not back down on his rights, neither will he run away from his chosen path, and he will not run away from the place where he was born. As Ikenga is returning to Imo State tomorrow, Friday, it behooves on the heads of security agencies in Nigeria to provide him adequate protection and also to call them into Imo State to cease any illegal actions they are planning against Ikenga, because he will not back down. He's going to run in this election. He's going to campaign and he's going to win. He's going to win. He has won actually. There must not be any election rigging in India at all. And all over Imo State, because Ikenga, we expose them all. He has a way of getting his information and they are all valid. It is his right and nobody can trample on his right. Disciplinary action must commence. First commence on the identified road police officers and then the Commissioner of Police in Imo State. Also, all those yet to be identified must be identified. There were many of them who came. Several of them surrounded the house and also robbed villagers and passers-by and terrorized them. The society must insist such identified road officers who are involved in killings should be shown the way out of the force and put in jail, where they rightly belong, far away from decent citizens. We also call on the Inspector General of Police, a gentleman and officer to the call, to immediately direct the release of Ms. Jennifer Williams and the airport taxi, innocent airport taxi driver who earns probably less than 5,000 naira a day, who have been in the dungeon of the Commissioner of Police in Imo State for the past 6 days. We also call on the release of the campaign materials and further education materials and station materials donated to Ikenga campaign immediately. We hear the materials have been moved to the government house Owerri, but the commissioner should go and retrieve them before they are destroyed. Nothing should be added, nothing should be removed, nothing should be printed and inserted. If they do, we will prove our case. If, as the Imo State government has said that Ikenga is not popular, why all the attack on him? If the man is not popular, allow him to go and fail freely. The young man has said, meet him in the field and also campaign to the people. But no, Ikenga will not be allowed to campaign. Ikenga will be killed. All that is being discussed in Imo State government house. You say it's inconsequential, yet you cannot sleep with 2 eyes closed. Let us now notify you. Your nightmares will be long and Ikenga will win this election. And Nigerians, keep watching this video to see how the governor of Uzodinma back unknown militias, government operating in Imo State. Mixture of no river cultists, river state cultists, members of the Ebubiabu network, men from the Imo State Command of the Police, and at least one from FIB Abuja. That is the crack squad that Governor Uzodinma put together with the knowledge of the Commissioner of Police Imo State to execute Ikenga. We must notify the world now that the opposition has approached the court to seek orders of court to restrain the Imo State government from fabricating charges against him. This step was taken upon receiving information that the Imo State government has procured a magistrate who is willing to grant remand orders against Ikenga so that it can be put away until after the election, and also harmed in detention and claimed that he was involved in a failed escape bid or he was attacked by fellow detainees. Ikenga was once arrested and poisoned. We must not forget that. In this country, he was once arrested and poisoned, and it took God's intervention for him to be healed. Nigeria is a constitutional democracy. Uzodinma is under oath to protect the Imo citizens, including those in opposition, and has no right to target any of them to be killed merely for holding contrary political views. The Commissioner of Police Imo State cannot and does not have the right, acting as an agent of the governor of Imo State or Chinasa Manderi, coordinate an attack on the law-abiding citizens targeted as executing such a citizen. The full text of the promise of the Inspector General of Police for safe environment to conduct elections and the pledge of the National Security Advisor to dislodge all militias operating in the state is what they both do to the madness going on in Imo State. This Ikenga case is a test case, and we will draw all other inferences from this case. If we were not able to obtain these footages, nobody would have believed our story. But now, the video evidence is available. We have been right all along. The Attorney General of Imo State, we hear you are again fabricating these charges. You have refused to perform your official and professional duty to the state government. It is professional misconduct not to advise them appropriately. We know that the legal practitioners and disciplinary committee will be interested in yet another trial of the allegations of misconduct against you. That is, if you are not finally debarred from the current trial. Every one of you should get it clear. Ikenga is a soldier of democracy and rule of law for over 2 decades.